warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Siti Latifa, but you can call me Lala. I am from group 3 and I have members. There are Wildi Afiatul Afra, Larasati Astuti, and then Alvan Amin. Okay, let's get started and have watching. Okay, first I'm gonna tell you about estranged labor. Political economy conceals the estrangement in the nature of labor by ignoring the direct relationship between the worker or labor and production. It is true that labor produces marvels for the rich, but it produces privation for the worker. It produces palaces but helps for the worker. It produces beauty but deformity for the worker. It replaces labor by machine, but it cuts some of the workers back into barbarous form of labor and turns order into machines. It produces intelligence, but it produces idiocy and cretinism for the worker. The direct relationship of labor to its product is the relationship of the worker to the objects of his production. The relationship of the rich man to the objects of production and production itself is only a sequence of this first relationship and confirming. Later, we shall consider the second aspect. Therefore, when we ask what is the essential relationship of labor, we are asking about the relationship of the worker to production. Up to now, we have considered the estrangement, the alienation of the worker, only from one aspect. Example, the worker's relationships to the product of his labor. But estrangement manifests itself not only in the result, but also in the act of production within the activity of production itself. How could the product of the worker's activity confirm him as something alien if it wasn't from the fact that in the act of production he was estranging himself? After all, the product is simply the result of the activity of the production. So, the product of labor is alienation. Production itself must be active alienation. The alienation of activity, the activity of alienation, the estrangement of the object of labor merely summarize the estrangement, the annihilation in the activity labor itself.
Now I'm gonna tell you about Marxism theory that I take from the article, and the title is Manifesto of the Communist Party. In this article, tells us about the history of society that's still existing until now is the history of class differences. One of the studies that described in Marxism theory is the class differences between bourgeois and proletariat. The bourgeois growth when the society hostile to each other because the society doesn't lose the antagonism. After that, they forms a new class and new condition, and then they are formed a new arrangement to replace the old one. The bourgeois was first developed by the native inhabitants of the city. They were raised in the Middle Age of 19th century. And then the proletariat is the modern working class, and then they are developed only in one class, just in labor class. They only can live as long as they found the job, and they only can find the job for whoever can develop their potential. They are sell themselves little by little, only for looking for money.
And right now, I will explain about the fetishism of commodities and the secret thereof by Karl Marx. Actually, due to the COVID-19 outbreak in Indonesia, so I cannot explain it in the class, so I will explain it in this video. And there is 3 main points that I found in that article. And the first one is a commodity is an enigmatic thing because the products of labor can turn into a commodity because of the relation of the producer and the collection of the labor. And the second one is the meaning of the fetishism attaches itself to the product of labor because in the commodities world it is related to the product of man's hands. And the last point is consumer goods become commodities because of course they are the product of labor itself. No matter from where or from even from private individuals of groups of individuals.
Okay, I will continue, my friend. The categories of British economy consist of such like forms. They are forms of thought expressing with social validity the conditions and relations of definite historically determined mode of predictions. The predictions of commodities, the whole mystery of commodities, all the magic and the romancy that surrounds the product of labor as long as they take the forms of commodities finishes therefore so soon as we come to other forms of production. Let us now transforms absorbed from Robinson's Islands, buried in lights to the irrelevant middle age, sudden in darkness. Here instead of the independent man, we find everyone defendant, serfs and lords. And for examples of labor in common are directly associated. Labor, we have no occasions to go back to that spontaneously developed form which we find on the threshold of the history of all civilized races. We have one close at hand in the patriarchal and industries, yes, of peasants' family that produce corn, cattle, yarn, linen, and clothing for farmers. These different articles are, as regards the family, so many products of his labor, but between that so they are not commodities. a different kind of labor such as tillage, cattle tending, spinning, weaving, and making clothes. The religious world is but the reflex of the real world, and for a society based upon the productions of commodities, in which the producers in general enter into social relations with one another by treating their product as commodities and fluids. Worldly, whereby they reduce their individual prepaid labor to the standard of homogeneous human labor. For such a society, um, Christianity, which is cultus of abstract math, more especially in its Bourgeois domain, and then for Protestantism, mysticism and is the most fitting form of religion. In the ascetic and other ancient modes of production, we find that with conversions of product into commodities and therefore the conversions of main producers of commodities hold a subordinate place, which however increase in importance as the primitive commodities approach. And we're going to political economy. Political economy has indeed analyzed, however incompletely, flew and its magnitude, and has discovered what lies beneath this prompt. But it has never once asked the questions by labor is represented by the value of its product and labor time by the magnitude and that value. This formula which bear and stamped upon them an unmistakable letter that they belong to a state of society, and formula refer to the Bourgeois intellect to be as much as self-evident, necessarily enforced by nature as productive labor itself. Hence, part of social productions that preceded the Bourgeois form are treated by the Bourgeois in much the same way as the founder of the church treated free Christianity religions. So far, no Semite has ever discovered extant value either in a pearl or a diamond. The economic discoverers of this chemical element, who by the by special claim to critical acumen, find however that the issue value of object belongs to them independently of their material properties, while the value, on the other hand, for the part of them as subject, what confirms them in this view is the relations between the object and man, while on the other hand, their value is realized only by extent. In France, like Warsaw, she called that. For instance, to be a wall for it man is the gift of fortune, but reading and writing comes by nature.
Okay, thanks for watching and thanks for your attention. We are sorry if you found some mistakes from us. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.